Hey, Steady Steve, and it is April the 1st. No April Fool's jokes in this one. Anyway, I just checked the Facebook page. There's no secret codes. No secret codes. And of course there's no Alice Bond. You would have thought, possibly after the Platinum Wheel and everything, that people are gem poor, and now would be the time to do Alice Bonds, you know what I mean? So people have to spend gems in order to kind of get back what they overspent. But no. Yeah, so I'm just kind of interested to think about what the IGG strategy is. And obviously it's heavily centered around, you know, getting us to spend as many gems as possible. That much we already know. But, I mean, to be honest, I've been just contemplating the game and like kind of, yeah, I mean, look, even for the coupon draw, there's hardly any, you got hardly any creatures. I've got virtually nothing for every single coupon I've had, probably in the last 6 months. Virtually nothing. So where are they going with that? Why aren't they even giving us the crap just to like keep things ticking over? Why are they forcing crap decks on everybody? You know what I mean? We can't have any progression in the game unless you buy gems. Is that really the strategy? Because if they starve us of Alice Bond, and you can't even get the free crap in the coupon draw, then how does anybody progress in the game? Spending gems, buying gems, a whole lot of gems. You can't, I mean, how are new players even going to get established? I mean, the way is Alice Bond, if you're free to play, but if there's only very few Alice Bonds, then it takes it off the table. So what do we do? I mean, the situation I've just described is pure grind. So if they actually understood their game, well, maybe I was going to say, if they actually understood they're going to lose a load of players, maybe they're taking a hella gamble that they don't mind losing most of the players. I think even if you want, there's got to be a balance of people pay to play and free to play. Because I don't think there will be... say if all the free-to-play players left, is there a game left? What? How many players would there be? You know what I mean? And, I don't know. I would have thought not that many. And also, but having said that though, the way that IGG structure things, there's a massive gulf between pay to play and free to play anyway. Maybe that's what they're thinking, so they don't mind losing all or most of the free to play. That's why they're not doing any secret codes. That's why they're being tight on the coupons, and that's why they're doing very few Alice Bonds. Maybe they're just thinking, I don't mind losing loads of players. It's hard to guess with IGG, really hard to guess. Anywho, so what I'm going to try and do, okay, so I've done the Grimoire. Really what I want from the Grimoire, excuse me, is, ironically, is loads of maps. As well as obviously building up towards runes, but all my runes are still going into Concealed Strike. And as often as I can, I try and keep on top of it and do my raids every day to, you know what I mean, to get this kind of up to level 10 as soon as possible. But, you know, it's the Easter break and I've been out enjoying myself doing other things as well as deck heroes. Which kind of brings me back to the first comment I was thinking about. I'm not going to do it, but, just trying to, I mean, my guild would have to let me know if this is something that they're interested in, whether they just want to stick to being Alice Bond players. You know what I mean? Just play during Alice Bond, that's what, 8 weeks, and then just, I don't know, take take time out until the next Alice Bond. That would make sense. That would make sense. Obviously, that just means that they were never in any queues, but I don't know, try and keep a space for them if they came. I don't know how it would work exactly, but would definitely take the grind out of it. But on the other hand, IGG are making us wait so long between Alice Bonds. I mean, for me, for example, say if I took time out between Alice Bonds, it's already been a couple of weeks, and I get used to not playing the game, would I actually come back? Possibly, but it's like a not 100% chance, you know what I mean? For everybody, it's like a decision about whether you come back, and if it's a decision to be made, then it may be yes or it may be no. Gamble. But anyway, I feel like IGG have forced me down the route of at least I'm not going to do it, but contemplating just being an Alice Bond player. But obviously, as a guildmaster, can't really happen for me. Anyway, IGG, if they're really thinking, how long does this take Jaws? About making us, listen, if they make us wait another 15 days plus some next event, so we're looking at, if it's going to be like towards the end of April, they're going to lose a load of players. They're going to lose a load, just get bored of waiting. And whether I'm one of those, I'm not going to go, but seriously would be considering if they keep on messing us around and just, Anyway, so in this video what we're going to do, let's see how far we can try and skip through on the gauntlets. It would have been more interesting if I could have done deck duels, but the way that deck duels is structured right now, it's only worth doing during Heaven's Blessing. And Heaven's Blessing is another 5.5 hours. 5.5? Yeah. Cool, let's try and run through the gauntlet. Judgment. Judgment is actually the second hero in my tournament decks at the moment. But unfortunately for him, this is a no challenge battle. Jormungand. Nefarious. Shit up. Force that. Yeah, and also in terms of my old videos, what I'm thinking is I'm going to re-release them, but starting from video 1 upwards. So I've got the first 10 videos on there available to be shown, and I'm probably going to release another 10 today for anybody that's interested. Back in the old days, man. Back in the old days. I meant to do this. Anyway, so that just the one. Dullahan. That's what I'm going to do. S for 5. I don't usually overthink what I'm going to play. But no contest, but I'm not going to lose anybody. Not to the Judgment. Not when you got Wraith. Yeah, so just thinking again about how slow it's going to be for people to get Wraith, put it up to level 5. I mean, it's going to be slow because there's less Alice Bonds. We used to have a couple of days or a day's wait or a couple of weeks. IGG are going in a completely different direction now, so I fear for the future of the game, or as I say, maybe they're just taking a hell of a gamble with what the game can be and will be in the future. I think they're shooting themselves in the foot. So, this is the problem, Alice. I've got a standalone deck though. I don't think we'll lose. Oh damn, what are you? If that was Revive or something like that, that might just be a little bit annoying and, you know what I mean, do something. They're going to lose the Paragon. I've got my Rage Control. Oh, they're going to lose the Recycle. No, they're not. Just Paragon. That's huge. Nefarious might oh yeah, I should have maybe put in Hanzo. Right, cool. That's exactly what we're going to do. Hanzo has to go in the deck. Odin. One of the guys told me that Odin, Stormward goes through... no, Odin's skill goes through Stormward. Which is good. Right, so who am I going to lose then? Let's just put him in and then let's think about it afterwards. Never going to lose to Odin, I'm afraid. Shouldn't lose even a character. Odin. Yeah, because I haven't been doing the trials, I'm not any closer towards getting Oceanos. I've been really strapped for time. I've been doing the gauntlets every so often. But if I was serious about getting Oceanus and things like that, then okay. And then I would have to do the gauntlet every day. Gemini's not so interesting without the rune on it. Excuse me, I'm sneezing. Oh dear. And I know it's not so interesting. We're going to do a tournament battle in a minute, and we can actually see how the deck performs. Actually, seeing how my new deck performs will be much more interesting than the clicking through the gauntlet. So that's coming from right up. How long is this video? 12 minutes. Alright, cool. So this video will be shorter than 20 minutes. And I'm actually kind of fascinated to see how Judgment performs myself. Haven't invested anything in Judgment's hero skills, so it hasn't got protection. I did level up Judgment 1 level, but I can't bring myself to divert any resources. Oh dear. Any resources away from getting my Concealed Strike up to level 10. Because if I'm not doing the raids, then that's going to take a little bit longer than the month. And if I'm diverting it into Judgment, it's going to take a lot longer than the month, which will hurt me more in the longer run. Anyway, we got to the end. Armageddon, that's actually quite useful. Kinda. I'm thinking with the old brain being like, thinking I'm kind of trying to aim towards Judgment being higher. Judgment is not a hero I'm interested in. Judgment? Sorry. Armageddon is not a hero I'm interested in anymore. Just because he relies on full rage and somebody in the graveyard. And with Aquarius, Armageddon, you're a dead hero. You're a dead hero, in my opinion. And I've already gone through it. I've already gone through it. In my opinion, what's worth going for. And it all boils down to maybe Volt Songstress at level 4 if you're interested in getting through the Explorer decks. But if you're interested in the game in general, like player to player and things like that, has to be Spirit Arbiter. It's probably going to need to be... I couldn't remember getting those 5 shots. It's probably going to have to be, I would say, level 9. And just stick at level 9. Level 8 maybe. It's quite strong. Level 9 is where you want your Spirit Arbiter. And nothing else is of any interest, even if this does go through Stormward. Still not interesting, not strong enough. In my opinion. Interesting though, I wouldn't mind experimenting. It's just that there's been a change in the Garden of Divine Wrath. Okay. How many shards have I got towards Odin? I'm not putting any ore towards Odin, for goodness sake. I'm just interested. 71. So he's not that far away. Anyway, let's go to the tournament. Let's do a battle of two. This is my new defensive tournament decks, arguably still weaker than before. It's just the principle of the nerf to Vile Songstress, why it's not here, but not everybody's got lucidity, not everybody's got it or wants it, and it is very hard to get. So maybe I could roll, well, I definitely could roll with Vile Songstress for longer if I was really bothered about my tournament ranking, and it would be better strategy. But I want to get my head around these heroes going forward, so they're just here. Yep, but my ranking will be lower than if I had Vile Songstress still there, definitely. Anyway, so let's go for Oceanos. That's got Aquarius though. Aquarius is like a trump card, really. Annoying trump card. And he's got Paragon. Everything else is pure. Right, so no guarantee I'd win this one. Well, Romeo and Juliet. Level Shade. Level 10 Frost Armor. Level 10 Immunity and Songs. Okay, before a basic attack, deal direct damage equal to 75%. After performing a basic attack, deal direct damage equal to 75% of attack to 2 creatures with the lowest HP. That's actually quite useful. In addition to this never apart. I think we're going to lose, but we're going to have to go for it just so we can try and see Romeo and Juliet. And then I might actually tap out there. If you have a Lover's Shade in play, increase this creature's attack by 500 during its turn. Capped at 3,000, otherwise summon a Lover's Shade. Interesting. Is it that basically that we've got to kill this before we can kill the Shade? Shade seems to be like a drone, like a you know, pop-up card thing. Right, cool. So what we're going to do is, what's got the best chance? With Vile, would have been no problem. He hasn't even got lucidity. I'm still not going to change it around. I'm not going to win. I just want to see how he performs genuinely for my own interest. So we're up against 2 Aquarius, really. It's Aquarius versus my deck. And Aquarius is going to win. And this is my old Wraith deck. Kinda. This is still in there just because of I'm interested in Warlust to see how it performs still. Anyway. Snow Harlots, Sacrifice, and Battle Blow Twins. Random skills on my Queen Temptress, but more one by one they are getting Voodoo, and it's taking like the full cost. I want to go to 100% every time in order to do the meld. It's like, oh my gosh, I've got 3 Voodoo and a Frostblade. Wow. Nefarious, as you already know, Warlust on my Pit Dragon. S-Revive, Dullahan. Okay, this is my new number 2 deck. Judgment, as I said, it's at level 3 now. Talents, right at the basic ones. Protection would have helped. Octavius, 2 Recycle 1 Horn Beasts. Shira Patera. Paragon with the Torment Rune at level 10, which is only crazy useful. Even if it wasn't at level 10, it would still be crazy useful, and you'd be surprised how many people don't even bother investing in it. Definitely worth it. Jormungand with the Revive Rune on it, still at level 8. Lerona, Voodoo level 9. Voodoo level 9, Queen Temptress. Hanzo, Steel Striker level 9, and Sharapatera. So 2 Sharapateras in this deck, man. This is my garbage deck. Still trying to get my Battle Blow twin, and that will probably replace maybe a Snow Harlot, maybe Death Angel. Depends how much kind of resilience I want to retreat. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 10. I've already got that resistance to retreat. So, and that's enough. So I'll probably take out Snow Harlot, put in another Battle Blow twin. Anyway, Death Angel. This is Recycle 1. I think God's Will. Yeah, all these are random skills. Ice Arrow is kind of useful. Sacrifice Twin and oops, Injured Twin. Yeah, that will not so useful really. I might replace that Injured Twin with a Battle Blow twin and leave my Snow Harlot and Death Angel. Anyway, let's move on. Thoughts for the future. But my third deck probably should be Vol Songstress. Should be. It's just that I only need to see one time where Lucidity just nerfs my Vol Songstress, and then for me being me, that's enough for me to think, you know what, never again. That's the way I think. Right, before that Aquarius turns up, we need to deal with these chuckers. So you do not be retreated, Queen Temptress. Do not be. Uh-oh. I hate that meld, by the way. That was Disposal Royal Dragon. 3 of these 4 will be dead. That's what it is. It's going to be a waste of my S Revive as well. And for that you shall die. Yes. A painful death. Oh dear. It's a pretty good start. 8v10. Okay, your retreat came too late. And now we just need to manage the rage. Let's see what damage that Graboid's going to do. I thought you changed, brother. I thought you changed. You need to dodge or you die, Queen Temptress. Oh, I got retreated. It's dodge 6. It's been elevated. If anywhere, maybe I should put that Injured Twin back in my Wraith deck and take it out of the garbage. The whole point of a garbage deck, though, is that you know, you go with that 2 strong decks rule. Okay, so see what happens. Gemini's gonna get the second life. What about you, Graboid? Are you gonna live, you chucker? I'm not 100% sure we're gonna win this one. It's not looking too bad though, I'll be honest with you. As soon as we deal with that Aquarius, oh yeah. I mean, Ferris, oh, it's retreated, isn't it? They have got what is known as very little chance. And hopefully that twin should be able to deal with that, oh damn. I was about to say deal with that Aquarius, but Gemini's overwhelming magic damage just caused a problem. You're gonna live, aren't you, Horn Beast? That's your 1 life. And then it's the same old story about how overpowered Aquarius is, and the question of which of my creatures they're going to clone. Gosh, we need rage control. Desperado. That's actually quite lucky. Well, actually, lucky for me as well, they could have sacrificed the Aquarius, which means that would be recycled and brought back into play. That's not going to worry me, flown in a famous snow hole. Hey, we're going to win this one, defo. Let's go to the next one. Judgment. See how you do. Tryouts. Now, in theory, Armageddon, since it steals your cards, should really overpower a Judgment, but it depends because... but it depends because the thing about Judgment, obviously, is that it sustains health. So if nobody's ever dead, then they're not going to be in the graveyard, right? Right, they're in the ready position. We've got no rage control, but we do have revive and recycle. Okay, here we go. Judgment, do your thing. I'm very disappointed in how that worked because, yeah, I need to look at Judgment a little bit more. But any damage they incur, they're meant to recover, right? To a certain extent. And I need to watch the video back. Maybe obviously he lost more damage than he would ever recover, and then that's why he died. Just Shrapatera in a Judgment deck is kind of interesting as well. Okay, so they're back up to full rage. I got no rage control. In fact, I got the opposite of rage control. I got Octavius on the way. See what happens to Lorona. Okay. We're going to lose our cycle 1. See what this deck of mine here, I mean, I would say it's kind of ultra defensive in some ways because none of them are really going to have any kind of impact apart from, of course, Octavius. Maybe I need to, I can't remember if this, I'm not going to win this one and it's way too long. How slow this is, man. I can't take it this slow. You know what I mean? I'm used to Wraith Hunter. Yeah, Earth's Embrace, that needs to be much higher level to be of any interest, really. I don't know if we are going to win. Maybe. Oh yeah, I was going to try and wait for you when I'm Romeo and Juliet. Okay, Earth's Embrace hasn't fired yet, to be fair. Dodge, 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 dodge. Dodged. Okay. We're in severe trouble because of that Aquarius. The only good news is... No, there's no good news. It's just going to freeze us. Lover's Shade. Okay, so that's, I guess that's what we're looking for anyway. So yeah, Frost Armor, exactly what it said. Frost Armor, immunity. The start of your round, all your Romeo and Juliet creatures recover HP equal to the current HP and activate Cleanse. Interesting. Yeah, so that's kind of like an anti-Aquarius. Is that the nerf for Aquarius that they're thinking of, IGG? that you got to have Romeo's, what's he called again? Romeo and Juliet, and put a cleanse mode on it. Is that what they're thinking of? That definitely would beat Aquarius. It's a little bit extreme though. We got completely, listen, we got bossed. I can't stand watching slow games. You know what I mean? That's the other side of it. So we'll only ever, okay, my Warlock beat Task Mistress. Regardless, that deck is way too weak. This one here is way too weak. You're 22. You're 20. Yeah, Judgment as a hero just wasn't doing enough. Let's just try switching heroes. Save me a bit of time. But that should, my garbage deck should still be viable really anyway. Right, so my new second deck is Warlock. Warlock does have protection. So step one, deck wise. Yeah, that Show Up a Tear experiment is over. Gonna be Flare back. Basically because of Hellfire. It's looking more like my old deck really. Rampart is, and the Hellfire and the immunity, I think makes that a stronger deck. I didn't get to look at these decks. I only wanted to try and change my decks whilst I remember. So I haven't actually seen his decks, obviously. Either way, this is a win. Taurus might have something to say about it, but no, it's going to retreat my Puppet Dragon. That's slightly annoying. Out of the 3 cards, only one of them could be retreated, and that's the one that's going to be retreated. Because we know it's retreat. I didn't need to check, I knew it was retreat. The balance of the game has changed. Right. Nah. I was just thinking we would need, well, Taurus is going to kill us all anyway, that's for sure. And Requiem. Oh yeah, it's not going to be, well, it is Voodoo. It's just the rune's too low, it needs to be minimum level 9. This is looking really bad. Okay, so we need to take out, yeah, that Queen Temptress, the one that dodged, needed to go. Snow Harlot's not going to do, I've got no patience. Snow Harlot's not going to do anything either. Apart from resist retreat, which is quite useful. That's also quite useful. And that's also quite useful. The model thing. Right. We need to survive Taurus. Right. We need them to trigger our rage. I don't think it's going to happen. Oh my gosh, it's crazy unlucky. Okay, let's just see what happens. Oh. I think we've got Nefarious in this one, so I'm not, like, panicking. Yeah, we could have done with getting rid of, That's not good enough. Listen, not going to happen. You can just see the writing on the wall. Everything was going wrong. Wrong, Perrier, wrong. Let's see how many other decks do, because we're not going to lose to Armageddon. I really don't think we're going to lose. And that's going to be a revived Mythical Drone. Probably. We're not going to lose to this. And to be honest, how everything went wrong in the last one. This one's already gone very right. Meaning, I got my Octavius Chiroptera combo and Paragon with a little bit of Rage Control and more Rage Control on the way. We can also see how Warlock does. I mean, look how quickly he builds the Rage. So we get the health back, but to be honest, with Paragon, we're going to get a lot of Rage back anyway, but health back anyway. But Chiroptera is definitely going to enjoy that. Which was a whole thing I was trying to do with Judgment. Didn't happen. This is guaranteed win, isn't it? So let's move on to the next one, because I think this video might be over 36 minutes. Wow. We won. No contest this time. Val against Captivator. I think I've always thought Divine Shield is completely useless. Or more useless than it should be for, a tough skill to get. Okay, you'll get... not completely useless. I guess it stops retreat in a similar way to what Lucidity would do. I just don't think it's enough. I just don't think it's enough. My opinion. This garbage deck would desperately need Paragon and we definitely win. I guess he could say the same. Nice to see Requiem. That was nice. We need to get rid of that Horn Beast, obviously. This deck is actually, it's my garbage deck, it is actually reasonably strong. That's a revive Undying Will on the way. Look how chronic slow this is, man. And that must be that injured, was it injured twin? Yeah. So I didn't see the rage go up. This is like a pick 'em kind of battle. That's a Cycle 1 Harbinger. And the thing I was going to say during the introduction was, I don't know if there's people who do definitely advocate kind of farming loads of Thalassa to do with Cycle 1 melds. I just don't think it's a waste of time. That was Cycle 1. Once you get a Nefarious, you kind of look at Cycle 1 completely differently. I know it's kind of like ridiculous, but you do. It's like, well, Cycle 1 is very inadequate. You know what I mean? So to spend all that time farming them, I just would not bother doing it, personally. Yeah, but if you haven't got Nefarious, I've only got, well, it's like I'm going on like I've got like 3 Nefarious, 1 for each of my tournament decks. I've only got 1 for one of the decks, but yeah, I think Revive. Yeah, but if you haven't got Revive, yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's a case that you're going to need something that recycles, so, Cycle 1, eat it up, man, eat it up. I think one of the not generous things IGG could do is to give us another Thalassa, to be honest. It's like 100% it's not a game changer, but would be like mildly useful type thing. It's hard to say who's got the edge here. I guess maybe because I've got Requiem on the way. And a bit of Rage Control, aka 2 Queen Temptress. I really don't think they're going to win, but nobody's an out-and-out winner here. Too slow. We lost. I actually expected to win. Alright, I'm going to wrap it up there. Let's do one more go. One more go. Lost again, a Wraith. Wow. Okay. Anyway, so please like, subscribe, there, Steve, and I'm out.